All right, so now let's move over and take a look at our subtraction of decimals. So now, very similar principle to how we set up the addition is that we want to look at our two numbers in this particular expression, and we'll say 13 and 9/10 minus or subtract. We're going to take 6 and 32 hundredths away. So same principle. We are going to set this up, and we're going to line up our digits based on place value. So I have my 13 and 9/10. 6 and 32 hundredths. Notice how, and I should have pointed this out earlier, but notice how that decimal is really my anchor. It provides a little bit of just a line, and that line kind of divides two different worlds. It divides the whole number from the parts of whole, but that needs to line itself up vertically. We need to see that go all the way to the top and bottom. It never shifts to the left and right. So we've got this set up now. Like the last time, we see that there are, on my second number, that we are 2 digits, 2 places behind the decimal. And so we can even that out over here by adding a 0, and that does not change the value of 13 and 9/10. So we're going to take a look at now subtracting this. Well, this time I want to work it a little bit differently, although again I want to stress the importance of we want you to operate from the standard algorithm, but I want to just go ahead and expand it the first time, or expanded it first, and then we'll work kind of backwards compared to how we did. So let's move this over. We'll take a look here. So for 13 and 9/10, we have 10 plus 3 plus 9/10. And 6, we want to keep our place values lined up, so I don't want to put the 6 here because that would be where my tens place is. So I want to always make sure that I'm lining that up. So I'm going to put my 6 plus 3/10 plus 2 100ths. Now, I can, just to kind of show, I'm going to put there were no 100ths over here. I'm going to draw a line, and we will subtract these. So the first thing, I'm going to start again at the far right. I will start over in the hundreds place. Now I have no 100ths, but I need to take 2 away. Now we need to look over to the tens, and we need to be able to regroup. Now here is what I know. I know that 1/10 equals 10 100ths. This is important information for me as I look to take something from the tenth because I don't want to change the value. So I'm going to take a tenth away, making this 8/10, and I'm adding 10 100ths to there. Now what this allows me to do by redistributing it, I now can look at this column and be able to mathematically complete the operation. Whereas before I couldn't take 2 away from nothing, I can now take 2 away from 10. 10 minus 2 is 8 100ths. Now, I'm continuing to move over to the next place to my left. I'm looking at 8/10 minus 3/10. That would give me 5/10. Come here to my ones. Once again with my ones, I look and I'm taking away, trying to take 6 away from 3. Can't do it, so I'm going to get rid of my 10, and I'm really just going to take it and redistribute it over here. That 1/10 equals 10 ones, or I can say 13 because what that's saying is 10 plus 3. And now I can take 6 away from 13, and that'll give me 7. So if you look at my expanded answer here, where I should land is 7 and 58 hundredths. But let's take a look back at the standard algorithm, and we'll see if our work kind of matches up here. So let's focus in on here. And same scenario here is I'm going to start over at the far right with the hundreds place, and I can't take 2 away from 0. And so we're going to regroup. I'm going to bring 10 over. 10 minus 2 would be 8. 8, now in the tenths place, 8 minus 3 would be 5. Again, that decimal just comes straight down. It doesn't shift to the right or to the left with addition or subtraction. And then I'm looking at a situation where I'm taking the 10 away. 13 minus 6 would be 7. So we've got that 13 and 9/10 minus 6 and 32 hundredths equals 7 and 58 hundredths. And we can kind of come back over here. Let's take a look at these two match up. And so the standard algorithm, which is this right here. This is the goal. We want to be here, but it's not so much we want to teach or I want you to learn the process as much I want you to learn what's happening. So for example, when I look at the tenths place, I'm not taking 3 from 8. I'm taking 3/10 from 8/10. And being able to use that language is hugely important in explaining what you're doing with this operation. So there's subtraction. We did addition earlier. We'll be back with more stuff next time on multiplication and division.